1.
This is Bronnie, The Bronnie Show, every Wednesday. Follow Bronnie everywhere at Bronnie Music.
Okay, what's up, you guys? You are listening to The Bronnie Show, and I'm joined here with Leo and Kogi from Area 11.
Hello.
Ooh, hello.
Leo, please tell me your star sign is a Leo.
Do you know what? It isn't, unfortunately. My
thought you were gonna
dad's
say it
is,
is
so
then.
maybe it had some sort of influence, but no, I'm an Aquarius boy. Give me those pots of water.
Oh,
They
nice.
were gonna
It's your
call him
birthday
Aquarius
soon
to
then.
start with.
Yeah, they were going to call me Aquarius.
Yeah, that's mad. So my manager Mark's an Aquarius, Pete, my guitarist, is an Aquarius, and Chris, my drummer, is also an Aquarius. So
You're hoarding Aquarius.
I know, literally. So as the listeners may know, so I recently announced I'm going to be supporting you guys on your 10th anniversary tour this month, and most dates have sold out. What an achievement. Congrats on that.
Thank you. Should be
Thank
a fun
you.
one.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
And you know,
it's gonna be really
even staying together as a band for 10 years, that's another achievement compared to most bands nowadays.
It's been on the ropes at some times.
Yeah.
But, all the couples counselling helped, and yeah.
So
Yeah.
why didn't you guys tell the listeners more about this tour?
Okay, so it is the 10th anniversary of our debut album, All the Lights in the Sky. We released that in Jan 2013.
It
many
was
years
today.
ago.
It was exactly today, 10 years ago,
Oh, exciting.
which is sort of sickening and
wow.
also kind of fun.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
feel
been
like you
that
look
long.
younger than then, Leah. You've
Yeah,
aged
I'll
backwards.
take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Do you remember what we did to celebrate when we launched?
I remember we were in the sort of the studio, and we put it out at midnight or whatever, and we took a photo in the hallway of me, you, Sparks, our singer, and our friend Adam, because
Why
Paul
not our
wasn't there.
guitarist? Right.
He wasn't there. I can't remember why he wasn't there at the time.
He was pacing around the flat trying to solve an unsolved mystery. And then
Yeah.
you and I went back to our flat. We got into our boxes, as we were wont to do, and had a big bowl of cereal.
Did we?
That's how we-
That sounds
yeah.
about right. That sounds exactly on.
We were staying on the couch of our singer's flat at the time. We'd basically been sleeping on an L-shaped couch for about 6 months, so
Yeah.
we'd gotten to know each other quite intimately.
It was quite something. We probably
So rock and roll.
we probably went back, had a bowl of cereal, watched a couple of episodes of How It's Made, and then maybe like a sort of 2 a.m. episode of like the history of prog or something like that would have been on.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
fell
some
asleep.
Eurotrash.
Yeah.
And
What
then
a
we
night.
what a night. Then we woke up in the morning and it was
a
in
night.
like the top 10 charts for 7 countries on iTunes, and we were like, oh, this is nice. People actually want to listen to this thing we've just slaved away
Yeah.
over.
It's quite surprising.
Oh, that
but
must have been such a
pleasantly
good
surprising.
feeling, waking up to that.
That was super surreal. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is a thing. And I showed my parents that. They were like, oh, you're actually doing something. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yes. That's always the
I
thing. I
see
feel
why
like
you've
as
been Bristol.
soon as you show kind of like stats or, you know, even name drops like, we were played on Radio 1, I feel like adults go like, okay, so it's legit then. It's not like a little hobby.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay.
You're on Jules Holland, you say. Ooh.
The Hootenanny, is it?
So yes, you're going to be playing loads of those songs from that album on tour.
That's right.
And we have now London. So that capacity, it's like 900, nearly 1,000 caps. So is this going to be your biggest headline London show?
Yeah, this will be our biggest headline that we've ever played.
Yeah.
The one before that would have been Islington Academy, which is like a 700 cap, but this one's about 900, and we're really hoping we can fill it. I think there's a chance we might. So if you want to come along,
things have been going really well. Like we
Yeah.
were originally, when we announced the tour, we had much smaller venues than we do now. But like I think they all sort of sold out within, what was it, like 3 days or something like that, which kind of really surprised us. And then we did the upgrades, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, like this'll be good, but we didn't. Again, they just sold out, and we didn't think that it'd go anywhere near as fast.
yeah,
the
they
London
kind of
show,
flew, which is nice.
the London show, because of the venue, we were just like, yeah, let's do it. We were on like a big high from seeing all the venues sell out. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's push it. Do the biggest one ever. It should be really good.
And we sold
Really
14
excited.
tickets, so hopefully,
Yeah, 14 tickets they're all up in the balcony. It's going to be great.
Yeah, the 14
Right,
tickets
that.
include my band, you know. No, but
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
we are so excited. Because
Yeah,
so
we're excited to have you
we
guys. It's gonna be
supported
great.
you guys in Manchester.
Yeah, you did.
that
was
was
Factory.
Factory November time, wasn't it? 2021.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
after
I didn't
COVID.
know at the time. I think I had COVID at that gig because I was feeling rough. Even though I did the test,
way.
I did all the and I was actually that building, the factory, had really kind of spooky vibes.
Yeah,
I'm not
Kogi
like
was
a
really
super ghosty
spooked
person.
by, the stairs backstage and stuff, and even the sort of the dressing room. It was kind of a bit of, well, I'd say dressing room.
It had
the
an evil
the floor.
energy.
It-
I really
it
kind
is
of
a
wanted to go
weird
down
vibe.
into the spooky basement. It definitely looked like there was some sort of spooky dooky basement.
Oh yeah, someone had been spooked hard there, but like it was a great gig. Like it was a really fun
Yeah, it
show.
was
Did we
amazing.
sell it out? I don't know, but it felt full.
I feel
But
like it
the
was
actual venue
sold out.
itself, yeah, the venue was a spooky place. Too spooky for this chap.
So with that Manchester show, I think it was sold out, but now you're going to be doing Manchester at a different venue, and that's sold out. That's like nearly double the amount of people who were at that last
Yeah,
Manchester
the-
show. So
one of the academies. That's full. We always have a great time in Manchester, except for last time I got haunted. But we always have a really good time in Manchester. Like that's, for whatever reason, that seems to be party night on tour.
It
so we'll
always
just-
it always goes down well. Like this is a venue we've played a few times as well. This academy. This will be the first time we've sold it out, but it's a really cool venue. But also downstairs is just like a student union, so obviously everyone's having a fun old time, and we don't want to
We're
feel
gonna
left out.
Make some
so-
signs and protests. We're gonna get involved. And I think
Yeah,
last time one of us, won't say who, stole. There was like loads of protest signs, so we just ended up taking them on the night out with us.
oh, I
I'm
love
not sure what I
that.
was protesting. Yeah, I was
Manchester's
definitely
always a
sticking it to
great night
somebody with
out.
it. Exactly.
It's always
yeah,
good. It's always
we love
good.
it there. We love it. It's always a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Now, you guys can get your London tickets by heading over to area11.band or bronniemusic.com. So this is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of your album, All the Lights in the Sky. So tell us more about that album. Like, how did you, like, how long were you working on it for? Were there any, certain inspirations or bands you were listening to at the time?
Sure. So back in that part of the band's history, we the name Area 11 actually. So we were like, we did this before it was cool, and not in like, oh, we're so cool, we did it before it's cool. Like, no, we were nerds. So this album was basically at uni. We just used to watch. I was going to say get high and watch a lot of anime, but I don't know if we're allowed to say that here. So
all good.
we'll fix that in post. Yes, we
Anything
just
goes.
used to do that, and then we was like, oh, okay, we wrote a little EP based on some like anime like themes and series and stuff, and that seemed to really kind of resonate with a few people. So we decided to kind of stick with that and just write an album based on that, mostly for our own like fun, and it was always designed to be listenable to if you had no idea what it was talking about. It's just kind of like a fun kind of poppy electronic synthy album, but the fact that we did it about loads of anime sort of got it passed round a load of internet subcultures and stuff, so that kind of made it almost a bit of a culty album in
I was
some
going to say
ways.
it's a bit culty.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those weird like underground things that, like Kogi says, we kind of at the time. I don't know if this is like something that's come with age, but like at the time, no one seemed to. It was one of those things no one wanted to admit that they were like doing was like watching anime. It was like
Yeah.
it wasn't cool to do that. But then nowadays
It was-
it's like it seems to be everywhere, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's kind of annoying that it wasn't like that when we were doing the thing.
Hey, settlers.
Yeah,
got
you were like the
arrow.
OGs owning
What's
it.
What's the phrase? Pioneers get the arrows, settlers get the land. So they say.
Oh, I've no idea.
Yeah.
I've not heard that. I quite like
we
that.
are nerd pioneers.
We are nerd
I wanted to call
pioneers.
an album that, but
Nerd
like all
pioneers.
the first song and last song, maybe we
Yeah.
will. Who knows?
Oh, I love
yeah,
it. Do you know
it
what?
was-
I've never gotten into anime before. I need to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So many fans
start
like,
off
do you
with-
watch it? I was like, I need to.
Okay. For tour, your homework is watch a few
Yeah.
episodes of the series. I'd say Death Note. I think that would be the one. It's like it's old now, but it's
It's
classic.
a classic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it's on Netflix. It's on
Okay,
Netflix.
that is
Watch,
my,
just
tour
3 episodes,
homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
Fabulous.
quizzing you. We'll be
Yes,
quizzing you in
okay.
Bristol on day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because my guitarist Pete, he's a big anime head as well. Like he used to watch it loads as a teenager. Him and his brother, and no, he was giving me loads of animes to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm on
yeah.
it. I'm on
It's
it.
like-
It's my
Do it.
homework.
Do it.
Exactly. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it was some of the songs, like obviously, you know, when you first start writing, kind of you've got like a few years where you kind of build up the collection of songs and then go, oh, maybe we could put this all together. So they were all kind of based on the same thing, like the anime thing, different animes and stuff like that. And I think there's one original song on, like, I say original, there's one song on there that's not based on an anime, I think. But like they slowly came together. It wasn't like we're gonna sit down and write an album and they all were there. It's like, you know, this one's from a few years ago and we hadn't recorded it or done anything with it, because, you know, when you start a band, you don't do that initially. You just kind of go out and play and learn all the songs and all that, just practice for yourselves.
And
yeah.
we'd all been in different bands before, like all of us, and they were kind of much more traditionally like cool bands, and then we found ourselves like playing these very niche like anime conventions as gigs, and we were like, okay, all right, interesting, and you know, the people were lovely.
It was a different vibe.
It was a different vibe, and
Very
it wasn't the
different vibe.
kind of rock world we're used to. And then we started playing rock shows once we kind of had some fans, because then it's like, oh, we'll put on our own gigs, which were just normal gigs, and then we start getting booked a few other things. And yeah, so it was a real kind of trip into a subculture that was always on the peripheral for us, but never really like a big part of, you know, our identity or anything. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, out of all the Area 11 songs that you guys have played, you know, live over 10 years, what are some of your favorite Area 11 songs to play live?
One of my favorites is it's not off All the Lights in the Sky. It's off our second album, Modern Synthesis. But one of my favorites is Nebula. It's very like it's a very drum heavy song with lots of like really interesting stuff. So we haven't. I think we played that on the tour for the release of that album, but I don't think we've played it since. Or maybe when we did our Christmas show or something like that. But that's always a good one.
There's a bass solo in that one, which I get to
There
worry
is a
about
bass solo.
through the whole song. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. I can see Kogi panicking and getting more
You
stressed the
can see
closer
me,
it gets to
you can
it.
see me practicing like halfway through the song.
That's probably my favorite one. But then in terms of like the ones we play more regularly, I like some of the more chill ones. I really like playing our song Panacea in the Prelogue.
What was that song that you played at the Manchester gig? It was such a moment. It was acoustic, like in the crowd.
That's All the Lights in the Sky, or it's called Boshizoku Symphonic Part 4, but that is All the Lights in the Sky.
I love that moment.
Yeah,
I remember me,
that's a
Pete, and
fun
Chris
one.
was stood at the back of the room, and just the whole crowd were just singing it. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was such a cool moment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
a great one.
That's
That's actually that. Yeah, that's from All the Lights in the Sky. It's from the last song on the album, which is 11 minutes and 11 seconds, because we have to embrace everything about the number 11.
Branding.
We're gonna be playing that song, that full song, for the
first time actually, yeah.
on this tour, which is quite exciting, but also quite nerve-wracking, because it's gonna be quite an undertaking, I think. But
I think
we're
so,
really
yeah.
looking. I think that'll be probably one
Of us is going to have to learn mandolin
things.
pretty quickly. So,
yeah. I should probably get on that.
Yeah. Well, for me, favorite song to play live in terms of pure energy and like crowd response, it's a song called Heaven Piercing Giga Drill, where everyone in the audience just kind of expels all the energy they have stored up from the rest of the show and just kind of, you know, lets loose. Whereas in terms of like groove and bass playing, I really like playing the song Override A, because it's just got this kind of silky,
that is a fun,
legato-y bass line where you can just kind of get lost in it, and it's kind of sort of windy and twisty, but it's constant, but it feels really within my hands to play, if that makes sense.
So this is a thing that I like to do with every band, and I always find it so intriguing hearing how bands formed and, you know, inspirations. So in 2 minutes, give me the rundown of how, you know, Area 11 came to be and your journey of kind of how you got to where you are now.
Oh God, Kogi, you do this. I'm really bad at telling short stories.
Should I make it up, or should I tell her?
Little from column A,
So
little from
we're
column
all
B.
at a
Never
prenatal
let the
class.
truth get in the way of a good story, you know. That's
Yeah,
always
true.
You know.
Basically, the long and short of it is we were all at uni in the same periphery. So 3 of us were at Nottingham, whereas Leo was at music tech school just around the corner, uni, and we all kind of met through various things. I met Parv and Sparkles, the guitarist and singer, because I was making a load of comedy videos at the time, like just pretty wacky comedy music videos, but I was the most technologically illiterate person you've ever met in your life.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they call me Johnny Internets, which is also my password to everything. No, so I was doing that. I met Parv and Sparkles. Parv was like, "Yeah, I'll produce you an amazing song. I'm really good at tech." Obviously, he didn't do it, so Sparkles ended up doing it. Got friendly with those guys. Leo had been brought in because they were recording a song at that session at his music school.
Yeah,
they were like, "We need a drummer."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, basically got friendly that way. And we're like, "Oh, you guys are nerds. All right, let's hang out." And then we basically released a song after, there's one or two other people in the picture, but, NDAs and stuff. So, but yeah. So basically, at uni, had this kind of wacky project idea. It wasn't really the project anyone particularly wanted to do, but it just kind of took us away.
I love that. So it was a uni little project, and then now, 10 years. So when
10 years
did
later.
Area 11 start?
It was like a year or so before the album came out.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I think technically it's
11?
Yeah, it's 2011, I think. It's like,
but we hadn't really done anything.
It was so the other two guys who aren't here, they were formed the band with our old guitarist Luke, and then I joined as the drummer, and then Kogi, you joined sort of like midway through 2011, like at the end of 2011, something like that.
Yeah,
and that's
before
like,
anything was released.
And that's the kind of the point where we're like, okay, it's
like the official,
the band, and that's the thing. I don't think there's an official date, or maybe there is an official date. It's probably on. We have multiple spreadsheets of things, and it's probably on one of those somewhere.
Yeah,
I
it's
imagine
always so
Kogi's
hard.
got it all written down.
Yeah.
Leo has a spreadsheet of any girl who's ever smiled at him.
Yeah.
It's not long.
No, yeah, it's just empty.
Yeah. Oh, I need to update the spreadsheet from the last tour. I haven't done it.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Quickly, you don't have two tours in your head.
We have true. We have a spreadsheet of every band we've ever played with, just because it's interesting seeing it's kind of I once saw a Blink-182 documentary where Mark Hoppus had stolen every key of every hotel room he'd ever stayed at. So like every key, whether it's like a room. Yeah.
I love that.
From the beginning, that's a souvenir thing. So I was like, oh, I'd like to do something like that. I didn't know what it was. I was like, I'll make a spreadsheet. That's just, what I did. That's my...
do you know what? I'm such a nerd for spreadsheets. So is my manager, literally. But one of our favourites was... So have you heard of the band The Bottom Line?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were on tour with them January 2020, before the world shut down, and they have a big list of every single gig they've ever played. So I think we were going on stage in Cheltenham or something. They were like, "Boys, this is our 350th show today."
Nice.
And so they have
nice.
every single day they tick it off and all that. So I'm like, right, I need to do that.
Yeah, it's cool to have the little milestones to look back on, or to be like, oh, this is that show, and this is that show.
And we have a column with the funny thing that happened at the show. Most of it's probably not suitable for Dr. Fox's radio hour, but it was it's all the memories.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm so sentimental with all that as well. It's great.
Hey, if you do something crazy on tour, like if you hit Parv with a vase or something, that will go on the spreadsheet. So
yeah, we love
for the taking.
That's an idea as much as anything.
It's a pitch.
Yeah, we'll get vases on the rider.
Yeah, I'd love to make a Spotify playlist with every band I've ever played with. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
Yeah,
that's quite a good idea actually.
So, did I hear your music has been on Netflix Japan and video games and
we've done a few different things over the years. So we did a song for Netflix Japan. So actually, their anime department, the head of their anime department was somebody we'd worked with before. He's a really good guy, a guy called Rob. He got in contact with us and was like, "Yeah, we want you guys to write us a song for." Basically for Netflix Japan anime to be used in all their stuff, and so we wrote him one. It's called Floating World. That was a fun song. The music video
it was to promote their new season of anime that was coming
Yeah.
out, right? Wasn't it? Rather than
Sweet.
for like a specific one, it was like
Well, it was kind of
all-encompassing.
like, I was trying to avoid saying it was like their like marketing tool, but yeah. But that's what it was. But also it was just, we were wanting to write a song. They were like, hey, write a song and cut together a music video featuring like a bunch of their clips for their new seasons.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that was it felt kind of on our old school brand.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, we done a couple of video game things. We did one with a Bravo Man cartoon when they used some of our music. We wrote them a theme song and they used some of our music in it. And also like a video game for Namco. And there's also like, I don't think we can announce what it is, but there's like a big video game coming out. I think it's going to be big. It looks great.
We hope.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say what it is yet, but
No.
within, I think the next year, it's like our music and us are kind of featured on it, so I'm really excited for that to come out. Because like growing up, obviously, loved video games, who didn't? But yeah, it's kind of nice to kind of be on it now. Yeah,
Congrats
I mean,
on
Tony
that.
Hawk's would have always been the dream, to be on
yeah.
Tony Hawk's. But those really aren't as much of a thing these days. So.
Oh yeah, Tony, like soundtrack, all the soundtracks, insane.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah,
from that
definitely.
time, even like the American Pie soundtracks, just my
Oh, yeah.
childhood. Yeah.
Of course.
There's
all
like
great.
there's like a big like cultural element around that sort of era, right? Of if you were a band, like I mean, is it Blinker in the first American Pie, right?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
in the scene where Jim is with Nadia.
Yeah,
computer
on
scene.
the webcam, yeah.
And then they're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
So good.
and it's like, but it's just like,
Scott
oh
Rayner,
yeah,
I
if
believe.
you did that, then you were like, if you got on one of those or whatever, you'd like,
You
you
made it. Yeah. Oh, 100%. So speaking of like musical influences, I want you guys to pick out your song of the week. That is what
Okay.
it's time for. So this could be a song that changed your life, a song from one of your favourite bands or artists, or, a song that you've been jamming out to lately. So yeah, what are your songs of the week?
we
let you
get
go
one
first.
each. I assume we don't have to share our song.
Oh, no,
'cause
it's all
that would
good.
be very different.
Yeah, one each.
All right, I'll go first then. I will pick Roulette Dares brackets The Haunt of close brackets by the Mars Volta on their first album D-Last in the Comatorium. It's just like they're just so funky, man. Go on. Doug.
So what I've done song of the week, as in it's just the song that's been most in my head this week.
Nice.
If that's allowed. So it's not it's a Weezer track. It's by no means my favorite Weezer track. It's just one that's been constantly playing in my head. Anyway, my song of the week this week is called Iambic Pentameter, and there's just a lyric that I really love in it, where Rivers is talking about his childhood, and the line is, "All his mother could do was talk and wonder why she couldn't reach her silent child." And I'm like, that's a really nice lyric.
Awesome. So we are going to play a music game before we finish. So it's one of my favourites. It's Would You Rather Musician Edition.
Would you rather? 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 Would you rather eat my shits or free?
So I'm going to ask you guys 3 Would You Rather questions. And let's go with the first one. This always freaks bands out. So, would you rather never play live ever again or never songwrite and record in the studio ever again?
I'd probably rather never be in the studio. I love playing live so much.
I'll be Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas. She's my celebrity crush.
Yes,
Look her up.
Cass Elliot.
Oh,
Yeah.
big mama Cass.
Would you rather play sold out 100 cap rooms all over the world and play whenever you want? Or would you rather play sold out stadiums all around the world, but you could only play once a year?
We can only do one country a year or one.
Just one stadium.
So one
sold
one
out
stadium
stadium
show a year,
or
as many 100 cap rooms as we want. You go first, Cogs.
I think I'd do the stadium because I think that would be such a life-affirming experience that it would carry me through the year. Like, don't get me wrong, I love playing to small rooms, sold out, it's great energy, everyone's on board. But like, I guess that's something we kind of experienced to an extent. Like we played a lot of full small venues before. We've never played a full stadium before. That would be I think I'd go for that. And you just have one 7-hour Bruce Springsteen long show.
I was
going to
say you could make it really, really long. That is the thing. You could it could just be like say Springsteen.
Get the pyro out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we're bringing the pyro to this gig, but we haven't told the venues that because technically we're not allowed. But yeah, for Heaven Piercing Giga, make sure you put on your goggles, everybody.
I think I'll probably agree with Cody. I think like it is hard because after like a really good show, if I didn't get to like back it up with something else, I think I'd be quite upset. But then also, like he says, just having that one show would be so life affirming, and knowing it would be sold out and knowing like you could do one next year and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
go with the stadium. I'll go with the stadium.
Yeah, and you can have it all filmed as well. Loads of documentaries. Oh,
Exactly.
amazing. So the third one is this one of my favorites as well. You can only listen to one decade's worth of music forever. Now I'm going to change the rules. You're allowed to choose a 10-year period, like
Sure.
1984 to 1994,
Sure.
that kind of vibe. So, what 10-year gap are you guys going to pick?
That's really hard. I think I'm gonna go for like 1993 to 2003. So I think 93 is the year that Siamese Dream came out, and you get like a bunch of Soundgarden and like Smashing Pumpkins.
When was
bunch of
Melancholy?
the Chili stuff. Melancholy's 95.
Okay. Maybe I did mean 95 then to 2005.
And then I still get By the Way in 2002. I get the start of like Funeral for a Friend.
I think I might
go.
have to go like 65, 75. There'll
Epic.
be so much good music. They're like all like loads of Motown stuff as well. Like there'll be so much.
Now, we've spoken about your favourite Area 11 songs to play live. How about your favourite Area 11 songs just in general to listen to or, making?
Ooh. I really like one that was off our latest project. We call it a project because it was singles released sort of over the course of a year and a half or something like that.
Year and a half, yeah.
A song called Kaleidoscope. It's probably one of the heaviest ones we've done, but it's got some really like fun, interesting bits. Like the verses, I think, are really cool. It was an idea that we had sort of a little while before, and then we brought it back because we were like, oh, actually, we've got the
this is
we've
too
got the
crazy
secret
to
sauce
do.
for this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But then we were doing a project where anything could go.
Yeah.
So
it gave us some leeway. So I really like that one. Everybody gets a piece off the same project as well. It seemed to that seemed to really connect with a bunch of people. And when we did the tour, after that came out, one of our support bands, Misery Kids, with our now manager Nick
Loving it.
in them, started basically singing that thing to us every time that someone would have a drink. So it was just everybody gets a shot and passing them all around and stuff like that. And so it kind of made the song stick in my head. And then also a song called In the Blind off one of our sort of middling EPs. It's just kind of a classic Area 11 bop, really. It was like our first foray into the non-anime side of things.
yeah, there's definitely some overlap with mine. So Everybody Gets a Piece was a really fun one to write and perform, and it was super poppy. It was one of the poppiest songs we'd done. So one from Modern Synthesis, which is our second record, I really enjoyed the song Red Queen. That was kind of like, that was, I guess, one of my biggest contributions to Modern Synthesis, the album, and it's kind of has a lot of stuff in there. Like I was really happy with how the lyrics came out and just the melodies and the arrangement, and yeah, that's kind of one of my favorites. It's fun to play live as well. I mean, there's a few I like and there's a few I don't like, but mostly I like. So yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you guys would like to add?
Well, yeah, we hope we can see a few of you guys on tour. The London show is the only one with tickets, so sorry if you don't live there or get a train, but I mean, if you can, if
If that's
they're running,
possible
but yeah.
or not too expensive.
Yeah, no, just be kind to all the little critters out there, and do whatever you want to do, don't harm anybody, and have the best time you possibly can on this mortal coil before we all slowly dissolve into an entropic pile of nothingness. But yeah, see you in
Yes.
London.
Love it. That is the perfect ending. That's probably my favourite ending ever. To an
thank you for
interview.
having
So
us.
like, yeah, thank you for having
And we'll
us.
see you in a couple of
Amazing.
weeks.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Cool.
guys.
This is Bronnie on KCC Live. Follow Bronnie everywhere at Bronnie Music.